with Kyle Evans. Grow with Kyle Evans.
Dun, 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 dun. I gotta tell you, man, I could be having, I'm not, but I could be having a terrible morning, and then that beat drops, and I'm like, maybe it's not so bad. But no, I'm having a great morning, guys. Well, welcome back to your daily checkup from the neck up. Coach Kyle Evans hanging out with the one, the only, the swole Marcus Heflin. Guys, ready for your daily checkup from the neck up. Marcus Heflin, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Happy Friday. Excited to be here. And you know what's funny about what you just said? There's actually a psychological trigger to that. My psychology professor in college, he actually said he did a little experiment after, all of his studies and everything. He did a little experiment with his wife. And every time they cut onions, he would immediately kiss her or tell her he loved her. So some sign of affection, right? And he did this and he did this and he did this to the point where he cut an onion and she came over and kissed him and loved on him. And onions, if onions can do that, a really good beat drop, oh, that'll definitely wake you up. Whatever you associate the smell, the sound, the arena to, if it's always something positive, you train your brain on that.
I believe we call that classical conditioning, aka Pavlov's dog, for the lay people out there.
There it
See,
is.
guys, nuggets coming at you already. Welcome to it. You're in the right spot, man. This is what we do, guys. We had a good week. We got to hang out. We got to pour into you, and now we get to finish strong Friday. Drop some nuggies on it. Marcus has had a couple of weeks of just getting his cup filled, just people pouring into him so he can turn around and pour into you. And he's got some nuggies for us today.
Yeah, man. Two bright minds in our industry. Jordan Freed, he had the My Freed Life experience in Kansas City, and I got the opportunity to go there and spend 2 days with him. And it was Jordan Freed and 10 people. It doesn't get better than that. It really doesn't. The arenas are cool. The big crowds are awesome. Yes. When you get to hang out with him and it's just 10 and I'm dapping him up, right? That's cool, right? So learned quite a bit there. And then Wednesday this week, David Bernal, our fearless leader in the Bold Arena, he came up and he did a business planning clinic. And when I tell you, we had 162 agents that were in the room. And I heard every single person say the exact same thing. I've never seen or been to a business planning clinic that dove in like that. And I mean, he was dropping them, man. It was amazing how much time we covered mindset, because the path and the math, it's kind of easy and you can do that in an hour. Now let's talk about how we show up for that path. And it was really, really cool and creative how we kept going back to it by the agents authoring, well, I'm having trouble with this. He goes, is that a math thing or is that and every single time it went to mindset. So that reiterates to me what you and I focus on right now and always pouring in here it's always a thing. It always will be a thing. Because we can't do the math over and over and over again for motivation. It's here. So really happy to get kind of that confirmation and get the feedback.
Dude, I don't love this actually. I don't even enjoy it. That's a bad language. I'm just going to say the thing and you'll understand what I mean. When someone says to me, oh, Kyle, I got the mindset stuff down. I don't need the mindset stuff. That's, for someone else. And I'm like, yeah, you do. We all do. Because the mind is ever growing, ever changing, and being ever challenged. And guys, having the skill set, having the math, knowing a couple things, is like having a great Ferrari. But if your mindset isn't right, you ain't got no gas in it. What you
Mhm.
got is a super dope lawn ornament, right? A little driveway bedazzling, and you got all this horsepower and nowhere to go. So
That's
yeah,
it.
we do go back to the mindset, bro. We do.
And you know, also too, man, sometimes thinking you don't need mindset is exactly why you need mindset. If you're closed-minded to that, where else is closed-minded showing up? I just got questions because I love you, right? Like really, it's just like when an agent says, "Well, I don't have time for that right now." What else do
Mhm.
you not have time for? Well, I don't have the money for that right now. Ooh, where else is that? Like there's signs. And so whatever you're saying that you don't need, pause for a second. If it's a positive thing, right? If you're like, I
Mhm.
don't need alcohol, I'm behind you on that, right? That's been proven. There's no benefit. But if it's something positive, pause for a second and be like, okay, where's that coming from? It takes time and discipline. And yet, if you're hearing this, you're already in the right arena.
Yeah.
So implement something.
That's it, man. That's it. I love this,
Yeah.
guys. Marcus, I
Yeah,
know you got some bangers for us today. Kick
I
us
do.
off, dude. Set the tee up, hit the homer.
I do. He went into so many different things. And one thing that really resonated with everybody in the room was the conversation matches the level of relationship that you have with the other person on the phone. And he said, do you have a problem? Or he said, you don't have a problem calling and talking to people and knowing what to say. You have a problem with picking up the phone in the first place.
Mm,
He goes, I could model conversations all day, but you've already had 20 of them this week. You just didn't call it lead gen because you were calling somebody you knew or calling somebody you had a relationship with or calling whatever it was, like a next task. He goes, create that within your database.
yeah.
And he does this wonderful thing. And Kyle, you may know the terminology behind it. But if I'm calling somebody I haven't talked to in 2 or 3 years, guess what they're ready for? They're ready for me to bring up real estate. Right. And when I start pointing, they're like, well, hey, like, how's work? I'm like, oh, work's busy, but hey, let me get back to you. Let me get back to Timmy going to T-ball, or let me get back to Sally, who's about to graduate college, whatever it may be. And the more you deflect, especially when they prompt you for business and you put it right back on them, it actually re-engages them even more. It's like they want to know more about real estate, the less you give. And it,
Mhm.
it, it creates this kind of filter of, I'm not salesy at all. I'm literally here for you.
Yeah.
And you just tested me on my genuine conversation here. And I don't want to talk about that. I want to be real with you. And that raises that relationship to where then you can earn at some point later on the right to get into business. And I think that's especially for newer agents or agents who may not have that big pipeline right now. If somebody says, well, how's the market? Hoo-ha! Right? Like just so excited. Don't get excited about the deal. Get excited about to be closer to that person.
That's a new octave that I've never heard you hit before. So I appreciate that on a Friday
Thank you.
morning. Yeah.
Thank you.
Guys, I'm going to steal this quote from Jason Abrams, who's a much smarter man than me, especially in this realm. Shout out, Jay. We got to stop teaching fearless tactics to fearful people.
Yeah.
So Marcus said, I can teach you conversation models all day, but the problem is you're scared to make a phone call. And then doubling down on one of the things he said is you have no problem talking to people that you have a relationship with. Here's the problem with that, guys. You know how you get a relationship with people? You got to talk to them.
Yeah.
So you're just a few conversations away from having all the relationships that you want. So every single dang time you pick up the phone, there is no fear, there is no anxiety because you've been a person who's come from contribution and you tell people and show people how much you care before you try to make a sale. Make it about them. Let's go this morning, bro.
It's so funny, buddy. Me and you are big fans of fitness,
Mhm.
right? And I have found something that works for me. So I'm going to share it in hopes that maybe it resonates with somebody else out there. Whenever I'm seeing a gap in my business approach, my anchor, like an outlet for me, is fitness. Okay. And I know hopefully I don't come off like a meathead, but it's the health, it's the challenge, it's the move your body to relax your mind. It's so many different things for me. All right. Um, and when I'm falling short in one arena of life, maybe it's consistency around the phone calls. Maybe it's I've got a database of 500 that is a disaster, and oh my, I just don't even want to get started because the project's so big, right? When I'm reminding myself of consistency, I match something in the arena that I know I'm going to show up for, fitness. So for this month, instead of coming up with a chest day or a leg day or some kind of crazy routine all over the place, I said, let me get this big elephant and have to take a bite one at a time. So we did 10,000 squats, 5,000 push-ups, 1,000 pull-ups, and 100 miles traveled. And not in your car, I wish, and yet not in your car. What that forces me to do, and anybody that took that journey with me, you have to show up every day with something. Is it the 350 squats that is mandated that day? Maybe so, but maybe it's just 200, and yet you showed up for it. And that's what I'd love, and what helped with that. So I started doing that this month. What's helped with that is my approach now to business and some of the big projects that we're working on. I'm not so worried about, is it done yet? I'm like, did we make progress? Did we improve today? And I think if we took that towards our database, those relationships being the focus, being the consistency, all of a sudden deals would start falling in our lap. Oh my gosh, I got to come listen to me call. Well, you got that bad boy because you called twice and sent them some flowers because they had a really crappy Tuesday, right? Or whatever it is. So it's all about giving yourself permission to say, I haven't been doing this consistently, and that's okay because now I realized it. How do I show up now? And the minute you do, all of a sudden you find yourself October 17th, I believe, and I've just eclipsed, I'm a little bit behind, and yet I've just eclipsed 4,000 squats for the month.
Gross.
Come on. Like, that's huge. But I couldn't say that October 1st.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you get to say 2 weeks from now that you didn't get to say today? And take pride in that.
Dude, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step.
Come on.
We're not asking you to run a marathon in your business today. We're asking you to start with some steps. We're asking you to make some walking leaps forward. Just start, man, and then just do it and pile it up and be like Warren Buffett says, man, the eighth wonder of the world. Watch how amazing compound uninterrupted interest shows up in your business, baby. Let's go.
Yes, sir. And he also said this, man, and I felt like a subpar coach. I did. In this moment, when he said it, I was like, oh, I got shooketh. He said, hey, what would y'all say this market is? Skills-based or speed-based? And a lot of my agents, because it's a little bit tougher market, if you're a buyer's agent especially, a lot of them said skill-based. And he goes, what was 2021? And it was just flying off the shelves, and they were like, speed-based. He was like, we're always in a skill-based market.
Boom shakalaka.
And I was just like, there he is. There's David Bernal that we know, love, and make you really, really see yourself. And then when people were pushing back on the database and everything, he went into two different segments. When you show up for a cold lead, you have a lot to prove, a lot of trust to build in a very short window of time, right? Whether it's on the phone or you just got to their house and got the opportunity for listening, they still don't know you, right? And he went into some of the pricing strategies we'll get into in a moment. And yet that trust barrier comes with a lot of objections to handle. And yet when that trust is right there, it's more like, hey, just help me, friend. Help me, consultant. It's not necessarily fees and, well, what do you do for us? And what makes you, right? It's a little bit different. So he said, the more you invest up front, the more opportunity and conversion will go up, right? And then let me go back to my notes here real quick. And then he went into budgeting a little bit as well. So a little bit all over it. But the budgeting side of things coinciding with business planning, he hit us with this, man. First and foremost, when we say budget, do you feel micromanaged? Do you feel like, oh, that don't fit the budget, right? David, I don't think he'll mind me sharing this. David has a robust real estate team. And I mean, robust, like killing it. And he and his wife have a budget of $500 a month for any extracurriculars. We're talking date nights. We're talking take the kids to ice cream. We're doing this and that. So he can definitely afford much more than that. But when his kids come and say, "Hey, can we do this?" And I'm like, "Well, it's not in the budget this month." And it's respect. Instead of budget, it's his spending plan. And I thought that was cool because you don't outgrow your psychology of spending. So what is your psychology of spending and how is it serving you? Because he then said, some people call it Starbucks. We call it Hawaii. He doesn't spend the $10 a day or 20 if it's a couple on Starbucks. Instead, they save that money. It compounds, like you just said, and all of a sudden they got a few grand for Hawaii, right? And I just thought, man, just clarity and the focus and the consistency around once you make a rule, stick with it. And it just keeps growing.
Here's one on the budgeting thing that stands out, guys. A caveat, an asterisk for it. Make sure that you have parameters in place like David does, but instead of saying, "Hey, we're going to, sacrifice here and there so we can go to Hawaii," let me walk you through a trap that I have found that we have made as a couple. Booking flights, like, you know what? Ooh, this early flight out is $50 less. Let's do that. And then, Marcus, what we do is we wake up at the crack of dawn and get there, saving our $50 to get to the airport because now we need 2 large coffees. We got to have breakfast for the wife who's not used to getting up this early and doing things. And, we got to get this and get that. Next thing you know, we spend $150 at the airport because we needed to take an early flight that we saved $50 on 2 weeks before. Like, pay attention to what you're doing and don't just throw on a blanket of, we're saving here, and then the money's walking out the back door somewhere else. Like, pay attention.
Agreed completely, my friend. Agreed completely. I got a couple stories like that, and yet we'll sidebar that one. Yeah, man. I just thought it was really great because I know personally, whenever I say budget, it makes me feel less than.
Yeah, that's good. You'll never outrun the psychology of your spending is such a good line.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And there was one more before we get into the last segment on the pricing strategies. There was one more, man, and this was across the board for all business, budget, lead gen, your family, like everything. And he said, amateurs give it more time, professionals give it more thought. And I'm just sitting there going, how many times have I heard an agent? I know of one in Kentucky, and she literally prides herself on saying, I worked 70 hours a week for the last few weeks. And I'm like, I mean, she says it like I'm doing it. And I'm like,
Badge
you're
of honor.
not. And it just give it more thought. He did a diagram that was pretty killer, and we don't have time to do it today. And yet I would love to do it next week around time, around schedule, and around your 20%. And yet it goes right into, are you just head down tree tackling and just more time hit, right? Or are you giving it some thought of what is the best way? In fact, the question was, have you analyzed the highest and best use of you in your business? If you're making copies and you're the rainmaker, I don't know if that's the highest and best use. Give them the razzle dazzle of the glasses.
Man, it's so funny you bring this up. I just had this conversation with someone in our organization on our coaching call the other day, and shout out Constellation Home Sales. Let us know if you need us in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Homa, or Nashville. Shameless plug there. But we're talking about it, and he said, Kyle, because he was picking up the one thing again for the third or fourth time, and he was like, I'm thinking about this one thing here, and I have this big goal. He said, how do you do it? Like, how do you prioritize that one thing? So I was like, bro, it goes back to thought. There's going to be so many different things to pull on, and my one thing is very clear to me, being the best coach and speaker in the world, right? So every single thing that I do is in alignment with that filter. And he goes, well, what do you mean? I said, okay, here's a great example. I have to wake up early and take care of myself. And he goes, yeah, no, I mean, I get that, right? I was like, I don't think you do, because I don't just mean take care of myself mentally so I can perform in the day or show up for my family. I mean that also that my body is a billboard for my discipline. And so when I'm walking and I'm speaking and people are listening, they're like, this guy's not full of crap. He's about his business. I was like, let's take it a step further. It takes care of my energy and my mood. And so now I'm showing up how I need to show up at home. What if they're hearing all this stuff from me coaching and teaching, but my life is in shambles? Do you think that's someone that they want to listen to? It's like, no, I'm saying, so there you go. I have one overarching theme, and everything else I do must be in alignment with that if I'm going to accomplish the goals. And that only has come about, Marcus, through thought. I'm not just like, let me go work 100 hours a week on this. I'm like, no, how can I be strategic and make sure that I'm lining up my dominoes, that they're all in the same line and pattern to hit the goal that we desire?
And when you gave it more thought, I would imagine the systems, the things that you were doing, the activities, whatever word you want to put there, when you gave it more thought, all of them became more efficient.
No doubt. I can get busy with the best of them, but am I being productive?
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes our 80% shows up a whole lot more because we don't put enough pressure on the 20%.
That's right.
Right. And we'll get into that a little bit later with a visual next week, though. So we'll do that. But man, yeah, it was great. I'll say this, even as a coach, somebody that pours into people all day, every day, the last 2 weeks reminded me. I knew it, and yet I needed the reminder. It reminded me of, man, when you get your cup filled, how much more effective you can be.
That's
So
right.
guys, if y'all are feeling a little bit low energy, it may be that. All right. So either show up here or show up in an arena that will give you that, but fill that cup, because that's when your best version really pops out.
Guys, this is someone who's not just talking the talk, he's walking the talk. He is telling you that you need to go get into a classroom. He's telling you that you need to go read a book. You need to get with a mentor, coach, someone to pour into you. And this is someone who's doing that. Someone in the top 20%, someone in the top 5%, if I may be so bold and say that, Marcus. Guys, go do the things. Like, thanks for being here. The fact that you're here, I think, needs to be applauded, and saying that, hey, man, I am doing this stuff. I am reaching out. I am looking to accomplish more. And Marcus, what a day to go put an exclamation point on the week, right?
There it is. We call it Finish Strong Friday for a reason. And it's that thought, it's that framework, it's that how you show up. We're excited for you and proud of you.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, just to end the day with to bring you back down to reality, it's the 17th of October, so the 15th protocol is in effect. If you're not where you need to be this month, it's time to get hungry, baby, and do the work. Let's go. Marcus Heflin, good morning. I will see you in 7 minutes on our team call. Everyone else, bye. Thanks for being here. Love you, mean it. See you later.
Grow with Kyle Evans.